this graphic and thought, surely one of these teams is guaranteed eliminated. No, there are still so many outcomes that can happen with these final 4 series. There's a way that we have, I think someone said a 4-way tiebreaker. We have tiebreakers for upper bracket, lower bracket, potential lower bracket, and eliminations.
Yeah.
Tiebreakers. There's a lot of different ways that this can still go.
Yeah, the moment I saw all the teams and all the points, I'm like, nah.
You're like, too
I
much,
leave this to Nat. I leave this to you guys.
No, not you guys, just now. I don't know math.
I'm sitting back there in the green room like, yeah, so if this team goes 2-0, and this one goes 2-0, and this one goes 1-1, that's a lot of different.
And then Soniqs is just standing there going, don't talk to me, Missy. I don't know this math.
He's like, I have a short attention span. And then he walks out of the room. I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
Great conversation, man.
Feel that, honestly. I don't know what's going on. I have British education.
It's great with Slacks, always comes into the room, screams, something goes out.
Walks away.
Walks away.
Came in some big Undertaker cape today. Like
Whoa!
Whoa.
I'm sorry, he came in wearing a really fluffy jumper with a unicorn on it.
Very white as well, just completely in the white.
Sorry.
Whilst there are those 4 games still to be played, a lot of different outcomes, I did have a chat to our casters, and I wanted to know what were the must-watch games. If they could only go back and watch one game of group stages so far, they gave me their answers. Sunspan and Jenkins, they said that RNG versus LGD Game 2. Lyrical and Trent said Talon versus Soniqs. I know that they loved the way Talon played at that game. I don't know where that sentence was going. They had a pop-off game on the side of Talon. Lacoste and Gareth, OG versus RNG Game 2. Black and B-Cop like the Thunder Awaken versus Outsiders Game 1. Danog and Aries, Aster versus Team Spirit. And then Mike and John, you gotta love it. They said Navi versus Boom Game 2. So I believe that was the Yopaj Rampage game. So
Sea Pride, baby.
Sea Pride, that's right. You can't blame them. They looked fantastic in that game.
Sea Pride at the same time, something that eliminated a lot of Navi's fans out of the tournament.
Yeah.
Their hopes and dreams were shattered, and in what fashion as well with the Rampage. So unfortunate, but yeah, those games, from all the games that they have stated, I think Aster and Spirit for me is probably the... when it comes to the skill and the level of Dota that was played up there, when it comes to the most interesting match that I watched, it's probably the EG versus Spirit with a comeback, the Lone Druid comeback.
Oh, yeah, that was pretty hype. I want to also have a look at the win rates per region. You know, we talk about, oh, Eastern Europe's out now, or Western Europe team is out. If you guys wanted to know, though, just how successful these regions are looking, China, obviously the standout there. They have an almost 72% win rate with their teams. Unfortunately, though, on the other side of the coin is NA with only a 36% win rate for them, and everyone else sort of floating in the middle there.
That clearly says 35.7. Let's not round up.
We can round up.
We can round up. We can.
To be fair,
that's about the same amount of people.
I was going to say, to be fair, if we were rounding, I rounded China wrong. It should have been 71. You're supposed to round down if it's below 5.
Yeah, it's 70.
71.
I just think, like, at least for me, like South America, I know there's been some criticism, like, of Thunder Awakening doing them maybe a little bit poorly, but they have a stand-in. I think it's, like, okay to give them some slack here. It's hard, especially when it's your mid player who usually does so much for you and your team.
Yeah.
I really feel like if Thunder Awakening was here with their full roster, they would like not even be in danger. That team is really fun to watch. Like you saw Lost Stockholm, like 5th, 6th they finished.
Yeah, they had a great display. I mean, they still have another game, another series, I should say, coming up today. So there's a lot of chances for things to be shaken up. The other thing I wanted to talk about, though, was uncontested heroes. Every day we start with the highly contested heroes who's been looking to pop off. But these heroes on your screen...
There he is, Sheepo.
There he is, Lizard.
There he
Can't
is.
even finish my segment before you guys jump in.
Can we zoom in into
No.
second row, first column?
This is as close as you get to Meepo, but any other hero standing out that you're like, wow, I'm surprised that they haven't been picked, like that Dark Willow, perhaps?
No, yes. Like,
yes and no.
Sorry, no to Dark Willow, I don't care about her. Yes, the Bounty Hunter. He was getting kind of an increase in pick rate during Riyadh. There were people experimenting with him as carry, off lane.
He was being picked in pubs as well, quite a lot in high MMR, and one team that actually practiced it quite a bit on different positions was NAVI, and yeah, they didn't pick it at all. They didn't believe in their strats. That's the problem.
Disappointing. They went back. That's why they weren't the full dark horse that you expected, Sheep.
Yeah, they just needed more bounty hunter.
That's it. That's
it. If they just simply would have won the whole tournament, if they just
picked the bounty.
Yeah, god dang it.
Just get your hands on the bounty hunter. But those were the main things that I kind of wanted to bring up as we are in our final game of group stages. But let's start with the series. Let's start talking about it, right? Because this is the ultimate hype, the thing that we are all here for. It is OG up against Talon. Let's start with OG. These guys had a pretty shaky start to this group stage. Had a fantastic day the other day where they really skyrocketed themselves. They were down there, potentially eliminated, and now they're going to be looking to be in the upper bracket.
Yeah, when you look at OG and when you look at this lineup right now, there is obviously one player that everyone talks about, one retired player that came
Quote
back.
unquote retired.
Yeah, that's even if you think about the stories that the talents are sharing behind the scenes, it's usually, okay, did you see what he was playing here? Did you see what he was practicing there? It's an IO, they pick IO, because what he practices is what they pick. But it also puts a lot of the spotlight on him for every other team, which can make it a little bit easier for the other teammates to get the heroes that they want, and then you end up with Taiga that has this amazing Enigma game, and on position 4 he can do quite a lot, and I love that he's up front in this picture.
You think he's been a pretty standout, untalked about player for the team, or do you think he's getting the recognition he deserves?
I feel like for as long as I've known him, he has been stealing a lot of farm from the offlaner. That's the first thing. I remember even some Dota pit miner in Split talking to Insania, and he's saying the same thing. Yeah, like we kind of have two offlaners at this point. It's not a position 4 and an offlane. But I think that over the years he can always find the right chemistry with the offlane when it comes to how much farm he has to take on the map and how much he needs to let someone like Boxy in the past have.
Yeah, and I think like his hero pool complements that as well, because he'll play the Enigma and the Chen, who are very good at jungling. So he can take the enemy's map space. He can maybe take like his own team's jungle when they've like moved to the other side to take the enemy jungle. Like there's a lot he can do there, and that's how they get a lot of farm.
So OG looking very good. They're going to be coming up against Talon, a nice, notable SEA team. I say notable, right? This team actually started the year, the DPC Tour in Division 2. They had a bit of a roster change at the end of Tour 1, and they made the rise. They absolutely dominated Division 2 Tour 2. They came into Division 1 for the first time last tour, and here they are taking a major spot. They literally have one of the best uprising stories, Sheep.
Yeah, they came second. Like, only losing to Boom. That was so impressive because Fnatic had looked so dominating. And yeah, like Talon just came in and stole the show. I know Fear was like, "Yeah, this is the year of the Talon."
He's like got them as favorites to win TI everything. Like Fear is all on board for Team Talon.
Something from an outsider that was only watching, wasn't paneling with you guys the SCA region, but was on the SCA region before. Like seeing all these names, like it's Boom and Talon. I feel like they got the best out of all the teams that were there in the first 2 seasons of the DPC.
Yeah.
So on one side you have Yopaj, who's everyone's idol, right? Whatever, all the memes are there. You have on the other side Mikoto, who was always the one. They were the true rivals on the mid lane. Like everyone else was kind of there already. Like the story has been told, but the Yopaj and Mikoto story has just started a year ago, and it's fun to watch them rise.
Yeah, it is really good. Like Mikoto, when he was talking about mid laners in C, he said that when it came to the mid, in laning, he felt that Yopaj and Armel were pretty similar in skill, but when it came to the mid game, Yopaj was stronger. So he's found it always fun to play against Boom.
Okay. Well, we're not going to see those guys face up. I do want to talk about talent, though. Yeah. We talked about how they dominated during the tour, but that was with their full roster. They do have a stand-in. They don't have Q with them. They do have Zephyr instead. Yeah, Lizard?
So they do have Zephyr instead.
Yes.
Right? But it's not like they got, I don't know, someone across the world to play with them. Like, this is a guy that played with most of these players in the past. He was, last season, he was in the team with one of them. So overall, I don't think that it's a huge detriment to their playstyle overall. I don't think that they should struggle with him.
I actually disagree.
Yeah,
I'm going to fight you to the death.
All right, let's go. Let's
For
go.
those who don't know, before you guys get into it, before
Okay.
you don't know, they're standing in with Zephyr. Zephyr was on, well, is on T1 and is just here playing with Talon as they're standing in the position 4. So please take it away.
Please,
Fight to the
Sheeple, let's
death.
go.
Please.
Yeah, so Q, the way he plays in Talon is he plays these playmaking heroes, the Tiny, the Mossy. If you've seen Zephyr's hero pool this major, they've given him it a lot. They're like trying to make him be Q, but they have quite different play styles. Q tends to sack KP more and go and play more around Mikoto mid, and then he will be more of a pseudo carry going into late game. He's a lot greedier. Zephyr is much more team orientated. He's strong early. He's more of a traditional support player. He doesn't help Mikoto
Gets
as
those
much
big
as
team
Q.
fight capability heroes, right?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I can see that. I can definitely agree with your point. I still think that I'm right, but your
Oh, okay.
point is also.
I think that's valid, but I'm definitely right here. Another notable thing about Zephyr that I really want to bring up personally is how notable he is on Tree. Treant is one of his most famous heroes, right? And I just don't understand that Talon didn't play it until yesterday.
I
For the
can't.
first time, they finally drafted in Treant. And
I've never, ever in my life heard someone be as enthusiastic about Treant as she is.
It's Zephyr's
Zephyr
Treant!
Treant! You don't understand, Lizard!
I understand, but
To be fair, I have hopped on about it a lot in the green room.
No, it's really, this quiz is so good. You look at this guy when Treant is out of the meta, he is playing Treant. TI-10, he is playing Treant. DPCs, he is Treant. You don't come to a
Yesterday-
major and not give him Tree.
Right? But not only the fact they weren't picking it for him, but no one was banning it against them.
I know
It's
the
like-
disrespect.
for me, it's the same like saying this guy is a great Lich player. Wow, did you see
Okay.
the way he plays that Lich?
that's-
You have. Did you see Zephyr play Tree yesterday?
I have. It's
Yeah.
good. It's good.
It was an amazing game. They ended up, pushing racks at
19 minutes.
19
They
minutes
take
high
racks.
And it's all on the tree.
Yeah, all of
the,
the
But here's
the
the-
living armor that he was casting across the map
It was insane.
incredible.
But it kind of is like when you give someone their comfort, they will play better. And you can say like you can meme about Lich, but the nice thing about his Tree is that everyone has this idea. Tree is a slow hero. It stays in a lane. It doesn't do anything. But Zephyr can make it look active.
And the different item builds can definitely do that as well. Like some
Yeah.
players go for Meteor Hammer, some go for Whale, some go for Blink Dagger. There's just so many
Yeah.
different items. Some players go for Quelling Blade and deny Oriole Lestits in the lane as well. That also works.
I feel
Oh,
like
hell
I was gonna
yeah.
say, I feel like I've distracted us a little bit. The draft is on screen. We went on a little bit of
Where's the tree?
a Zephyr.
But they don't just
It's-
they
yeah,
don't
come
just
on,
first
man.
phase,
It's
they
like
got
the
more
Pokemon
important
favorite.
heroes, bro.
But OG go back to that Earthshaker. They have Razor as well. Talon responding. They have the Dawn Batrider.
I love the Bat Rider. You're denying it from BZM potentially in the second phase, and you're giving yourself something that can take advantage of how slow Earthshaker is. The way that teams like LGD and Xingqiu have been really abusing this hero is separating, like, A, the lane, you keep the offlaners off your carry, B, you TP react to ganks and you can, break it apart and just stop things. But Bat doesn't care about it. He has Firefly, he'll fly over
flies
it.
over, yeah.
He just keeps going. Yeah, he's super aggressive. His timings with his spells very early, whereas Earthshaker is quite slow and boring.
I have to say, I saw
Great.
PSGLGD pick Shaker, everyone followed suit. I saw PSGLGD pick Batrider a little bit earlier than the last pick. Everyone is following. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look, I want to quickly interject. The Earthshaker, though, for OG actually has a 50% win rate. So as much as, it's kind of been ragged on for support, this getting some wins with
They're
it.
getting
Like,
some
the
wins,
play style with it has kind of had its kinks worked out now.
Oh.
I just want to say I have not ragged on Earthshaker. I have been very supportive of this hero.
All right, now you're...
You're a
This is
Earthshaker-
gods. We hate
Earthshaker
gods. What
supporter?
too?
Okay. No, from the moment gods spat on Earthshaker's face, the hero just went on a roll and just won every single match more or less. But yeah, it works well with the Razor. We've discussed this earlier, like with the Razor, with the bats, with all these kind of heroes that need some help on the offlane, but not a ton of it. Just block the lane, keep the equilibrium back. Shaker can definitely work. I'm still worried a little bit for the Batrider. Like first phase Batrider for me is a bit sus. You're banning out the PL now, you're thinking about Jug, you're thinking about Lifestealer. Even though PSGLGD did manage to do it yesterday, it's PSGLGD.
Right.
Let's see, maybe Talon can recreate the same story.
So I was thinking a lot about this last night. I don't know how good my read is, but when we watched Tundra Awaken play versus OG, I really liked how they abused Seb's hero pool, because he does play these kind of slower, tankier boys, the Alk, the Earthshaker outside of his IO, of course, and they aren't that impactful early. So Thunder did a really good job of having like a strong off lane that abused the weak Earth whatever, and they take the top side of the map really hard, and then their carry, who's had to lane against Amar, not always fantastic, they just take him to the top side of the map, and he gets to like farm very nicely and recover there, and they just kind of like out farm OG. And if you can do that, especially on Radiant, which Talon are, you can take an early Roche, like if you draft for it. When TA did that, I was so sure they were just going to like sweep the whole game, because you can abuse this.
Do you think that, well, Talon thinks the same way at least, that this Shaker might be Taiga, it might not even be Seb, right? Like they're banning out the IO afterwards. Both of these players can play both heroes. I have seen Taiga in the past play Shaker, back in the Alliance days of Taiga.
Do you think it's more like banning IO to ensure Seb goes on it? They're like, well, now they can't pick IO. And
he can't play anything else.
Yeah, that guy, I've never seen him play anything other than those two.
Just have to ban out Windranger now, and that's it. We're set.
I mean, it is good because you can't play against Bat without some kind of save. I mean, it's hard to do that. IO with the reload, I don't. Oracle's kind of a very niche hero, but it is good against Bat. You might see a Liquid player, but I'm not sure about OG. Abaddon, anything with like
5 seconds remaining.
Save, Shadow Demon,
with
all these
Shay,
things, yeah.
Any
Purge.
cleanse,
Yeah.
our old bro Kyle would call them the cleanses, the contrash people.
Oh, they actually do
They
ban out
ban
the
out the
Windranger. So we were joking.
Oh, God.
This tour, this major, Seb has only played Earthshaker, IO, Windranger, Alk. Alk actually did win, but it didn't do a whole lot. It was that sacrificial laning stage.
I'm actually surprised for one hero that has been banned out by OG, that's the Chen. They banned it out themselves. I've seen Shaker, Razor, Chen. Shaker, Chen plus that Prophet, like so many times. And it's a trio that works very well, but why did they ban it out? The hero that has been picked, right? Like you were talking about one sort of counters to the Bat Rider, and that's these cleanses. The other one can be the Nyx Assassin.
Love Nyx, yeah. It's kind of a semi-save. The tree!
Wow!
The tree!
Now who looks
What?
like a
Where?
fool. Now who
What
looks
a
like
dumbass.
a fool. Idiot.
What a
idiot.
moron!
I can hear someone in the arena shouting about it. Slacks.
Oh, all right.
Wait, I have two things that I want to point out. One, short tree. But Visage coming out begs the question, where is Dawn going? How do we feel?
This is probably a KP Visage.
Right.
I just think it's like he likes control heroes a little bit with his brew, with his Visage.
So some good old offlane Visage, you're thinking?
It's just probably a 5 position Dawn,
5?
if I had to guess.
Yeah.
And then you just put tree in the offlane, or I don't know, maybe they want to lane.
You can lane
Zephyr
Dawn.
bot with the tree too.
You can lane Visage 3, you can lane Visage Dawn. Both of these lanes are pretty strong. Bat can go in either one of the solo lanes afterwards, like mid lane probably.
Yeah.
They pick up the Kotal afterwards. That's also a mid laner revealed for OG. I don't think there is any ambiguity there. Like you have the Shaker, you have the Nyx. Kotal kind of has to go mid. Do they have? So whenever I see the Treant, I want to see heroes that can take towers in one go. Right now, OG does not have that at all.
So what you're saying is a great
It's a great Treant pickup. Not only because of that, but the fact that it synergizes extremely well with Visage too. Like you have your layers, on top of that you get some more layers of living armor, like you cannot kill that guy.
Yeah.
It's impossible.
Yeah, and this also like feeds into if they want to like put their carry in like the top area if they do own that lane, because like Visage is a lane dominator, especially with like a Dawnbreaker. You can just leave your tree at bot to push out that wave and keep your like bot lane tower really protected, and or you can put him even mid if you want your mid to go be active and play on the side lanes, because as long as Talon don't give up towers, it's really hard for OG to play, because when you're limited on map space, how are you going to be farming? Kotal is a super power farmer, right? This is probably an Amar Razor as well. Like OG is inherently an incredibly greedy team, so if you're able to not let them encroach on your map space, they become very limited. And Talon have a lot of aggressive kill potential with Bat Rider if OG was to smoke up and make plays, which they tend to do when behind. We saw them do that a lot against LGD. Dawnbreaker is going to be there with the ult to help disengage that too.
What's our Savage Boy getting here, Sheep?
Oh, that's a big question.
A power farmer.
But, he's been playing a lot of different stuff. He likes his greedy heroes. He likes his Bane.
Wait.
His favorite Bane.
Wait.
Oh, Dawn Carry, maybe?
Dawn
Yeah,
Carry
I was
instead.
going to say maybe Dawn Carry now with
Yeah.
Bane coming out.
Okay.
Interesting.
They have so much BKB piercing control on Talon, so whatever carry gets picked here, I think they're pretty comfortable that they have ways to deal with it.
I look at these heroes and they look kind of too thick to me on Talon. Like you have the
They're like
you
what?
have the Bane. There's 0 damage coming from your 2 supports, and the other 3 cores definitely have to compensate on that. Can they compensate? Yeah, they can. But I feel that the 2 supports are very similar in nature. Let's put it just that way. Or maybe they have the same weaknesses. They aren't similar, but they have the same weaknesses.
That's true. What I do really like though is their ability to pick off on side lanes is massive. If if Tree is just somewhere pushing out a lane, doing his job protecting towers, Bane can go Bane can go set up a kill. You have Batrider coming in, Dawn's ulting in, this whole thing and Jug, you're playing into Lasso, Grip, Trio. Like this is a very hard Jug game. You can't just freely split push lanes this game.
But it's also the most default pick, I suppose, versus the Visage and versus the Batrider. Like, you get that spin, you get to deal with the armor as well. So, in that sense, it's fine. But overall, Talon's draft looks so nasty to play against. This is some SEA nastiness from the pubs right there.
Hey, I'm absolutely loving it. Does that mean you guys are going for SEA? You're a bit of a SEA fanboys at the moment.
I just need Talon to get to their BKBs so this Nyx doesn't cause too many problems, and they're good, I think.
Yeah, like how can I go versus Zephyr Treant? I don't know what you
Zephyr
God,
Treant.
he's been converted. He's been converted. He knows he's absolutely on board to Zephyr Treant. I'm so hyped for this game. And I also know our casters, Lyrical and Trent, are just as hyped.
That's right, Nat. We're ready to go, Trent. It's time. The Zephyr Treant. We're getting a Dawnbreaker played in the carry role. They're going to start punching each other a bunch. I can't wait. How you feeling about this game?
I mean, all I've heard for the last 24 hours has been Zephyr Treant, Zephyr Treant, Zephyr Treant, Zephyr Treant. In the rides, going somewhere, talking about Zephyr Treant. In the green room, talking about Zephyr Treant. I can't believe they didn't pick it until now, Zephyr Treant. And then they actually do it. So it's like, you know, when you're right, you're right. So shout out to Nat and Sheep. They were ready for this one. And question is, are OG going to be ready for it?
I mean, you'd hope so. And again, for OG trying to make it into the upper bracket, Talon just trying to stay alive. Make sure that they can play on that main stage. A lot on the line in this game, so let's get ready to hop into it. Game number 1. And I got to say, I don't like betting against Dawn. That's the big thing to me that stands out. This hero is insane.
Especially position 1.
1 through 5. Play it wherever.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. It can go anywhere. But, you know, I really like that fast aggro potential of the position 1. Hopping all over the map, and as you heard the panel mentioning right at the end there, tons of great opportunities to set up for that. The Solar Guardian is a serious threat out of the position 1. You essentially are going to be playing like a Spectre in a similar case, where 23 Savage can be farming up, getting some items, and waiting for his allies to prop him up and just set up. And he's got everything. He's got Lasso, he's got Overgrowth, he's got a Fiend's Grip. And that last pick, Juggernaut, not necessarily the best looking Jug game right off the bat because of how your spin is not safety.
It won't necessarily get you out of harm's way. And I think that this Bane, another one of those heroes that, you know, a little bit weird to last pick, but in the era where we had so many different rounds of, like, you know, the IO pairings, it was always the Bane that went with it. And it's probably a similar thing with Dawnbreaker, you know? You set up a Nightmare, you go in with the Solar Guardian, you can blow the person up while they're still stunned, you throw the grip afterwards. So these heroes, Nightmare might just mean death.
Yeah, there's a ton of setup. I mean, even just like birds or something too, right? Just like coming in and chaining through, always being protected by the potential from the Solar Guardian. So OG side though, yes, the Jug, it looks a little bit rough because of the spin, but there's a good reason they picked it. It is still something that can enable a timing that they want to shoot for. We've seen the power of the Healing Ward all across this group stage as we now run into the final stretch of it, as you got all 4 streams running right now with the very last series of this group before we find out if there will be tiebreakers.
And so many different things can change. I think Fnatic is pretty much close to being confirmed that they're through to the main event, but there's still a chance that they could drop down to the lower bracket. They're second place in the group, and then you look down as far as Talon, and they're still capable of staying in, even though they've lost a bunch of these games. I mean, even Soniqs with 10 losses, they're not necessarily out of it either. Like, it's kind of crazy how wide open this final day of play is, and it's all going to be decided within the next 2 hours. So keep your eyes peeled. We'll keep you up to date at it all on the panel. But for now, at least, it is going to be, after the 3 bounty runes picked up for OG, some early pressure onto Amar. Hyde throws out that brain sap.
And meanwhile, this mid lane here, Makoto just now getting up to level 2. The Caudal versus the Bat Rider.
Yeah.
A lane where you kind of just hit creeps back and forth a little bit, you know, have yourself a good time, and then you go and farm the small camps. Both small camps unblocked right now. So neither team prioritizing that as an issue here. And you're unlikely to see a kill in this situation unless you find some sort of a flame break bounce back at level 3 from Makoto maybe. But even then, you kind of want to put 2 points into one of your other spells. You don't really want to go 1-1-1 on Bat Rider mid. So there's just not a lot of opportunities for kills.
Yeah, it's going to be a back and forth one for a bit there, for sure. As Zephyr will chase Yuragi through the trees. The healing ward is already down, but you can see the power that you get out of this. Got some big right clicks, and not easy to sort of stand toe-to-toe, particularly with the Visage, because every hit that you're throwing out on the Zephyr tree, he's also getting more stacks up of that Soul Assumption.
Well, and Seb just continues to make this work as the 5 shaker. You know, Zephyr, I'm surprised he didn't punch that Courier. Didn't really have a moment to see it in time.
I mean, that never feels good, right? You're spinning to run away.
Yeah, just from the punches.
I mean, that's tough.
It's got the big damage, you know, this tree. The hardest hitter at the start of the game.
But not terrible. I mean, you look again, it's sort of, the lanes are in a weird situation right now, but Amar actually has a big wave that's going to push into him as Dawnbreaker tries to get a little bit of separation there. Taiga going for the Courier Snipe, not going to connect, but you can see 9 and 2 versus the 8 and 4 with the wave still shoving in this bottom side. There's a potential as the levels go up for, I mean, both heroes to get kills.
I like this idea, though, of having the Dawnbreaker versus the Razor, because you have that hammer for the breaking the link, but then they also have the Nyx Assassin with the Carapace, right? So you're going to have these different tools. It's like playing versus a Bat Rider, where you're using the Carapace to stun, and now he's got both in the same game. So a couple interesting tools they might be able to use to stop 23 Savage from getting away from that link in this match.
Another healing ward dropped down, and still Yuragi trying to last hit in spite of all of the spam that's going his direction. You can see the value of having that healing ward, and maybe that alone is part of the reason why they ended up taking this pick. Like, imagine if he didn't have this.
Yeah, there's not a lot of heroes that can sustain through this unless you're getting your, like, Chen plans and stuff with various creeps, or your dedicated healers like Warlock. So by getting that in your position 1, it's one of those ways that you can free up Seb to have these greedier position 5 heroes that he's been playing since Stockholm.
Yeah.
When he's put into this role for the team.
Already has the Soul Ring done. I mean, it's not great for Yuragi, don't get me wrong. He's got 9 last hits right now, but I think a lot of other heroes might have been dead.
Soul Ring.
Exactly.
So, you know.
Yeah, gotta take the good with the bad, right?
Yeah, it's a bit of a defensive one for him, though, as mid lane Makoto will find himself the Water Rune, and that's 4 minutes. So in 2 minutes, we'll have our famous 6 heroes mid at 6 minutes. That tends to happen in a lot of the games that we're casting, where all the supports are going to rotate in. It gets a little wild.
This is a big jump here. Makoto going all the way forward for BZM, was not anticipating that flame break, and Makoto seizes his moment.
And again, there's not that many moments, right? Like, it has to be one of these situations where you can get the flame break and you have points in the napalm. And the Caudal has to make a mistake, has to get a little bit greedy. Just an excellent snipe there from Makoto.
Whole wave is going to be pushing under his tower, as that's a lost out farm experience, and the Bat Rider going to be very happy. As down bottom, or top rather, they're going to get the pressure back onto Seb. Soul Assumption, he'll have it back up again. Is it enough damage for the kill? Not quite. One for the Courier Snipe now, too. They drop down that healing ward, and on the bottom side, Taiga in some trouble. Hyde trying to get the kill. One more punch is all that he needs, but he doesn't quite get the vision. Taiga and Amar with the outplay.
That was fantastic movement through the trees there from Taiga, just ensuring the last little bit of vision wasn't going to be there.
Oh no, back to mid. BZM wasn't supposed to go like this, tries to get away, and will manage to survive. So Seb, good job making that rotation. So that could have gone much worse. And oh, is he going to die to that? That's a lot. Not quite. That was a little scary.
It's okay. Bane is coming in. Hyde's like, you know what? I might have died, but I'm here for you, bud.
Yeah, refills the bottle in mid. As Makoto able to dodge the second volley of the Illuminate.
Now, meanwhile, though, Yuragi up top, look how low he is. He's stuck now behind this tree as to cut his way through.
None of this feels good.
No, because Seb's TPing mid to save BZM, which is great, because then he would have been doing the walk of shame back, but
This has got to be the most healing wards cast in a lane that I've seen in a very long time.
It's like, man, I wish I could level this up. It just feels too bad to do it, unfortunately.
God. And his courier's dead. He can't get the phase boots brought out. My man's just sitting there with a wand. Feels quite bad.
Yeah, you're really going to steal your mental at this point when you're 14 lasts on a jug at 6 minutes.
And they keep the pressure going. Yuragi has to dodge. There's no spin. Seb tries to save, and good job with that, but it won't be enough.
Can't quite get a perfect angle there on this time, so Seb able to get out of there. And I mean, even Seb has to be a bit careful right now.
There's a dive potential. And getting this type of a start for KP on the Visage, if he can get this level 6, so you're really going to start to lose momentum.
Zephyr just outplayed him, right? Because he walked back there behind the tower holding the ward, and Seb knew that. But the way he did that loop, he held it the whole time and Seb threw down the sentry because, like, of course you'd want to keep up this pressure, right, as much as possible. So I love that little loop that he did.
And that's why there's a sentry behind the tower and no ward to D-ward.
Yeah.
Zephyr still can go back in.
So now you also have, though, the opening up of the mid lane there because the Caudle's rotating around. BZM looking for plays up top here, sort of messing with the stack as Seb. Ooh, okay, well.
Playing aggro with the tree. It's what they like to do. And Seb, pump faking the fissure. Eventually,
Few too many.
will not be able to escape. But KP, this is a good kill if they can turn it around onto him, and they will. So BZM actually comes in to secure that one. And you can see Yuragi, all right, I got to get a Midas. We got to get to recovery mode.
Every game we cast Yuragi, it's Midas gaming. You know, he's really getting sacked. He's truly the hero who's letting Seb have these games.
Let's see if Seb can make the carry play happen. This 23 Savage.
He's got no hammer.
The link, the chase, the right clicks. It's not enough. Hide now. There with the Nightmare. Trades over to Seb. Makoto will secure kill onto this Earthshaker while Yuragi up on the top side getting chased down and spins away before too much extra damage comes his direction.
Yeah, 23 Savage obviously does not want to go back home, right? You know, I mean, you're Dawnbreaker, you're going to have yourself a Luminosity, and he's holding the Solar Guardian right now. So he's trying to look around the map for these plays that they can make, but that's going to keep him low HP. So potential for a play here, but it looks like the rotation is not coming his direction here. So we have BZM running up top as he's smoked. Taiga coming smoked up here as well. Only level 4.5 on the Nyx Assassin though. But they want to try and pressure this level 6 Visage. KP has hit his power moment.
And Yuragi.
Oh, there's a ward here.
Baiting this, waiting to see if they wrap around, and the vision comes out. KP spotted, tries to get away, but the stun is there from Taiga. The birds doing some good job of getting some extra damage, and the Solar Guardian is enough to keep him alive. The birds tank through some of it. Yuragi, after the Omni Slash, is going to get pummeled, punched. Is he going to go down? The Healing Ward's still out, keeping him alive. That Healing Ward, the most valuable spell of the game, and somehow OG, they do connect with the kill in spite of the 23 Savage rotation.
Yuragi is doing so much this game, it's actually unreal. Like, his suffering is bringing them success.
I want to look at what his healing numbers are going to be at the end of this game.
Yeah, great rotation to help out, though. Excellent bait and setup there from the whole team, and despite having that defensive observer ward there to try and spot when the smoke break, it didn't matter. KP had no way out. Good stun there from Taiga as well. So OG got themselves a bit of a lead here as they continue to pressure up top while still having Amar freely farming in that bottom lane.
And this entire time, in spite of the solo kill that happened, you talk about BZM and where he's been, making plays around the map, finding a couple of kills, and then also just keeping the farm going. So he is top net worth in the game right now.
And so the concern for me for Talon too is that in order to get back in this game, you're going to try and enable your team through this Batrider. And he's playing into a Nyx Assassin, who's going to be looking for these Carapace plays to stop you whenever you're burning across that ground. You're going to be playing into the Fissure block, where you can just get like stunned up. Your allies might have a hard time helping you. You're going to get stunned going for these lasso plays if you dive a little bit too deep. Jeez, okay. 20 Savage getting real low in the jungle. He's doing a... Oh, got Possessed Mask, though, so it's okay.
Yeah, he's good.
You fight your way back up now. And so it's going to be this battle of the lasso plays combined with the Solar Guardian and just how much OG can delay and stun you through that and sort of take these risks versus the heals and make you wonder, kind of like up top, where KP, you know, almost survives through by trying to remove the Omni Slash with the birds and the help of the Solar Guardian, but wasn't able to. Oh, it's a big old stack. Very nice. Thank you, production.
Makoto.
This is how Batrider gets a game.
Trying to catch back up to the Coddle. It's going to be a bit. Does already have those boots of travel, but queuing up the BKB next. And OG, they look somewhat comfortable sticking around in the mid lane for the moment. Although, TP rotation up top. Taiga.
Yeah, I don't see any sentries.
KP, he's in some trouble. Stun, it's there. It connects on the birds, and, well, they get brought down 100 gold and potentially the kill. No, Hyde throws on out the Fiend's Grip, and that's enough to get the Visage away.
Yeah, you'll take that. That is 5 heroes in your lane failing to get the kill. There's also Makoto with the haste rune on the bat right. You gotta think they want to make a play here, but they have to bring full numbers. They have the Solar Guardian. KP's coming back. TP in for Makoto. They want this bad.
Can they get it, though? Who's the target that they go on first? Haste rune, Makoto. Thinking about popping it.
He can't go near the Nyx.
It's
Look.
so hard. Look, he gets him there. The lasso, good spike carapace to interrupt. Taiga, he's going to be the sacrificial one left behind.
He's weaving that thing around like it's like Operation or something. You know, bzz, bzz. You have to be so cautious versus Nyx Assassin. He's menacingly standing there, and all they get with that rotation of 5 heroes standing up there is a Nyx Assassin. So OG, I'm sure, very happy to remove themselves from that situation and only sacrifice a support to an early power runed Bat Rider. Speaking of power runes, it is 12 minutes. It'll be an invis for 23 Savage as he heads down towards Yuragi, but this is an unlikely kill and would just like slow you down a lot in farming.
It is tough. This game has been really rough, I feel like, for Talon to get things going. It's a 3,000 gold lead for OG at 12 minutes, and that's in spite of several of the lanes. It felt like going really, really well. Maybe around this Vlad's timing or something, we're going to see Talon try and make a move with a pickoff and then into Roche.
Vlad's into Wraith Pack, definitely the big time these days for the Visage. But again, it's Taiga, the same area. They need detection here. He's just doing it again.
Gets caught, Nightmare onto one, but KP in trouble. Solar Bind, do they have enough for the kill? They have the Echo drop from Seb. And just like that, you lose your core Visage yet again. Zephyr, does he manage to TP out? Yes.
The sentry comes down now, but it's obviously a bit too late there. Taiga getting away with murder up top now a couple of times with these vendettas.
And you think about late game. I mean, Jug obviously not the most amazing hero in the world, but I think in this one he's going to be able to carry. If you think about like those late game super duper carries, sometimes he comes up a little bit short, but definitely against Dawn he'll have what it takes. We'll see how it goes though. Talon needing to get some extra pressure onto this map.
Yeah, it's a tough maneuver though. They have the last up in 5 seconds, so sort of pacing themselves now.
Smoke.
Hyde has the grip as well. But they are just sitting up here farming some Ancients, and Seb, well, he wants to head over here and...
Oh no, he just walks away. The smoke broken, they see him. Fissure there, onto 2. If they're not careful, Talon might lose more.
And 1 if Taiga wants to chase, but it's not really worth chasing for them, right? They're happy to sit back and farm and let Yuragi recover a little bit right now, I think.
At the very least, Talon did get that ward into the triangle as Anthony Savage throws the hammer, but now he can't get away. And in fact, with the spike carapace, 23 Savage is done. Oh no. I mean, so that's the other thing that...
Yeah.
You've got the spike carapace to interrupt the Solar Guardian. You've got so many answers.
Yeah, that's typically what we talk about when we see this Nyx Assassin. That was like one of the main theories in terms of like the initial 7-vote Dawnbreak, where it's trying to stop these global maneuvers from the Solar Guardian, as it does damage when it's doing the little circle, so you can actually stop Dawn from making the whole way across the map. But all our other moves as well. Like when you're at more of an even footing and in the combat phase, like you're actually able to stop a lot of that with Spike Carapace. So much uncontrollable damage that she's leaving behind. She now TP's into the mid lane after just dying.
Oh, and goes in for the hammer, the Spike Carapace. This is not going to work. Man, that one hurts.
Yeah.
Back-to-back deaths. Makoto wanting to make something happen here. Taiga is slowly but steadily burning.
That's a maxed leech.
He is going to die, but they might chase for more if they're not careful. Makoto's solar bound. They have the Fiend's Grip, trying to bring down Amara, but they break it. The fissure from the side finds Hyde, and 2 dead for the Nyx Assassin. It's all coming up OG.
Yeah, it really is. And they are struggling to enable some of these heroes on Talon. KP almost into the Wraith Pack, which will help a lot, as these fights are pretty condensed, and it's going to help reduce a lot of this damage. But Zephyr, with the maxed out Leech Seed, it does help get the kill onto Taiga, but unable to get a couple of these saves onto 23 Savage because of that. And now you're at that point where you really feel the need for the Blink Dagger on the hero.
They need a lot.
Yeah, they certainly do, looking at that DOTA plus win percentage, huh?
I mean, it's tough. And for OG, they've made the right moves. They've sort of held back when they weren't strong, and now they're really coming into their own. You look at these next several minutes, and I mean, they could potentially. It's a little bit tough for them to rush, I guess. Don't have any of that minus armor that's usually there.
Oh no!
Caught him again, down bottom. Taiga has just been all over Savage this entire game, and well, Makoto trying to play a little bit of interrupt on the other side as they're buying their time with the Dawnbreaker, and they find themselves at least one kill. The Razor does go down.
Hey, I'll take that.
Got to get something.
Yeah, at this point in the game, Talon happy with a trade. Just tries to stabilize a little bit while they're giving KP some time to farm up in the top lane. And Seb, you can see, did go for that shard right away. He was holding a lot of gold coming out to 15 minutes. I wasn't sure, like, we've seen XinQ sort of hold out for the blink.
Right.
But Seb seems a little bit more content just opting for the shard instead. It does keep you a little bit more removed, obviously, during the engagements. You can get off multiple enchant totems on top of the Fisher, especially if your team can keep them locked in around that area.
Tom? Is KP going to be in trouble again? They are sitting on a ward. There's been so much vision here. Solar Guardian, Seb just walks away. Now they're in kind of deep. KP down to half HP. Taiga makes the move over the Solar Bind again. It's just been debilitating. They find themselves another pickoff onto a key core hero. Taiga has just been a monster on this Nyx.
Yeah, that's one of those games where you would see and you go, wow, why doesn't everyone just pick Nyx Assassin? But it is sort of a perfect scenario because they came out ahead in the laning stage from OG. So then, well, I'm maybe not necessarily ahead, but one of the main problems was they didn't put down enough of that vision right at the very beginning for the Nyx Assassin. And when you get away with that as Nyx, it feels incredible because it's like a free initiation. You're just getting in there. You're starting a great situation every single time with the damage into the stun. And then on top of that, it's just an incredible Carapace game. You have it versus numerous heroes on the side of Talon, and you're just not enough of a priority at the same time that they can't really target you first. So it's a very tough situation for Talon to deal with.
And every move that you try and make when this map is already dark and you're playing against one of these assassin-type heroes, they're just going to run into him in the trees. Fisher connects onto both. The follow-up aftershock damage comes out. Echo Slam to put the emphasis on it as Yuragi also drops the big old ulti. Bird's dead. There's Bat Riders hidden off in the trees. That was a slaughter.
You would think they had vision in the area with how well that fight went for them. And even the bird can't escape. Gets hit down there. And yeah, KP says that they have a ward up there because his bird died, but it's just the lingering vision from their spells.
Going down. It's all falling apart.
It's a crumble.
And OG, the ones with the hammer.
They look like they were a peach pie and now they're a peach cobbler because I've seen a lot of that here in Texas.
That's right.
Yeah.
The old peach cobbler, I'll tell you what.
It's a deconstructed pie, and they have been deconstructed by OG. They've been cobbled,
Listen,
sir.
They're still sweet, though, you know?
Well, that's true. Lovely bunch, I'm sure. Just, you know, I think they want to be more stern into that bracket. Oh, that is kind of terrifying.
Although I do like the hammer's coming back. Let's watch it. Wait, no, the hammer. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, there it is. Look at that smoke trail. Mar picks up that haste rune, and they are going to continue this stranglehold onto this triangle. Talon wanting to find, I guess, just more damage is really what they've got to get. They need to get into this BKB for Dawnbreaker so 23 Savage can play Dota. Because in the meantime, these types of plays are just going to keep on happening.
Yeah, the issue for the itemization is that they need a BKB on Batrider, they need a BKB on Dawnbreaker, and they need the Blink Dagger on Treant. So they actually are hitting everything, right? They've got the Wraith Pact already done for the Visage, the Blink Dagger is coming up soon on Tree, so they will have their chance at a miraculous fight, but the problem is, of course, is that they're already down 9k. There's so much itemization and tankability up right now for OG, and they've sort of achieved a lot of their goals already, and they're kind of ready to 5-man a little bit here. And that's, yeah, you can punish that with like a great overgrowth and everything, but it's still gonna be tough to cut through. Like a Razor and a Juggernaut with a healing ward out, that's some tough stuff.
And I mean, the Wraith Pact, that's when that type of an item will really show its full power when everybody's together. And, well, Taiga, again, no vision down. They drop the sentry a second too late, and that means Makoto is already dead with BKB activated. OG, they can keep the chase going if they want. They got their eyes on a KP. Grave Chill tries to walk away, and a good job with a little interrupt there from the birds.
And that's really the only thing they're kind of lacking right now, right, is items for that big chase. But the Blink Dagger could be finished now for Seb if he wants. but he also has the Aether queued up. So, not sure if he's gonna get real greedy, but yeah.
It's the right play.
I mean, but if you go Aether, though, you know, that puts you towards the Octarine. You know, who needs a Blink Dagger?
Wait a minute, was I seeing that right? That's a, is that a Solar Medallion coming on out? Solar Crest Medallion for Coddle.
How about his Jug? How about his Razor? Amara,
Wow.
the true carry. I mean, also, we didn't even talk about like the early Lotus Orb as well, right? Excellent item choice, because the way that Talon can get back in this game, right? Some of these grip plays, some of this overgrowth and everything, you're going to have the Lotus Orb to deal with that with these Dispels to help your allies. So not only is he purchasing one, but they're going to double up their Lotus Orbs as well by getting one on Amar, who already has a BKB. So they want to ensure that their BKBs don't get countered by this overgrowth. They want to have that additional Dispel after.
Roggy runs back, and the smoke up. Oh, he got clipped. And now he is isolated. And 23 Savage, he is going to die again. The Dawnbreaker carry has not worked out the way that we thought it would. And I don't think it's worked out the way he thought it would either. Now, Seb finds KP. They're thinking about the chase. Yuragi, if he wants to, a little ring around the rosy, but they can't quite get him. Oh, Aftershock breaking the TP.
That actually got Hyde up on the high ground, too. And I think he was considering gripping Taiga, just like try and get rid of this hero, but he couldn't even get him after that.
Radiant's top tower.
12k gold lead with the Aegis on the Juggernaut. And KP tries to hide in the trees. It's where Zephyr is strongest, but will it matter? Zephyr, he can't save his Visage, the Overgrowth, the Root. The Bird's there too, trying to burn him down slowly but steadily. KP's surviving. Is there a chance that the turn will happen? And as a matter of fact, it actually does. Yuragi there, but Seb walks in and gets the big echo. Oh, they were all grouped together. It looks so nice.
Taiga's tipping him while the fight's still going.
Unreal. 23 Savage will manage to TP out.
It was like a tease. He's like, look, he's living, guys. We can go fight. And they like moths to a flame. They just run into this Visage, and then they all explode with Seb.
Oh, God. Well, they did find Taiga.
Got him.
You got me, y'all. Yeah, this was dirty. And you just saw him waiting out there. He's just like, I'm just going to hang out.
Yeah.
Throw a couple fissures.
Zephyr thinks he maybe has his moment, and they actually get the save. And you can see KP, look at the HP going up. You know, he's doing great.
He's killing it.
Starting to find his safety back with the help of the Shard, but it's not enough.
And then when everybody comes together, big old Papa Seb comes in for the finish. Oh, man.
Oh, well, back in the real time right now. Zephyr being point out of the tree line there. Mar, that's a bit of a risky link.
Yeah. Not afraid, though. Yuragi's still hanging on to that Aegis for 2 minutes. And they are just going to strong-arm this tower. As the tier 3 starts to go down, 23 Savage keeps applying pressure with that hammer. But OG, they're going to be content with just the tier 3. Or not. They're going to go in with the next creep wave.
2 minutes left on this Aegis. Everyone's up by Yuragi. He doesn't mind. Throws down a healing ward. So Zephyr has the blink, has the overgrowth. But stopped up there from Amar. Again, get back, tree. All right, Zephyr. We will not have it. No big overgrowth starters.
Kodo flirting with an idea.
Oh my God, he got him again. He got him again. He can't blink.
He's done. In trouble. Yuragi keeps pressuring. It is slow work, but it's honest.
If not now, when?
What are they going to do to try and stop this? The birds drop. Mar walks in. They find the tree yet again. And Zephyr, will they finally punish him? Yes, indeed they do. Solar Guardian onto nothing. And OG are not deterred. Oh, Force Staff in with the Spike Carapace. Gets the stun on a Makoto. Taiga says he wants to take this battle down, and he does get punished.
Okay, Talon's patience does pay off.
Roggy has a turn available, and they already have killed off the Bane. So they will finish off what they originally came for. As 23 Savage has to back away. The link is still there. KP slowed down. BKB, another echo from Seb. He just keeps finding them. As they wait for the madness to ensue, then they go in for the big dunk. And OG, a dominant game number 1.
The strength of just sending this Razor and Juggernaut up front, when you know that you need this like humongous wombo combo to try and get something from Talon, right? of like overgrowth into multiple like stone form drops or something. Bat damage just burning through everything. And how can you commit to that when there's always the threat of the Carapace and the threat of the Shaker from a distance just chain stunning you through the shard and then the eventual blink slam? You know, and that's why they're just like slow rolling it a bit from OG. And I like what Talon did, where they tried to wait it out and they just tried to delay so that this Rax would take as long as possible so they wouldn't get any value on a second lane from the Aegis. But their patience, you know, eventually Zephyr gets killed. They do kill Taiga because he gets a bit greedy, trying to make a sneaky play with the Force Staff into the Carapace. But unfortunately, then OG just run right back up and punish their own overextension after.
Well, this is the game of punishment, that's for sure. They have a Echo Saber finally completed, as well as that shard done on the Dawn. BKB ready to go. But man, it is just feeling like an impossibility at this point. And for Talon, you've got to imagine, you've just got to stay in every possible game that you can.
Yeah.
This is their tournament life that's on the line here.
And fighting into this itemization again of the Lotus and the Solar Crest, like, so much tankability here. Spear Vessel, even just a chase, slow down.
He's behind. They don't even need him. The Echo, rather the Fissure didn't connect, but the Omni Slash more than good enough. Mark giving the tip to Makoto afterwards. Why you gotta do that to him, man? Why you gotta do that to him? Fissure catching 23 Savage, the Nightmare save, but there will be no salvation there. As OG keep this momentum going, walk forward. KP can't really do the damage that they need him to, as another tier 3 tower is going to go down. A great stun out from Taiga. Seb there. GG is called. OG take it, trying to keep their hopes alive of being in this upper bracket and staying there.
Yeah, and they were in total control of this match. I mean, moments that things looked good for Talon were few and far between.
Yeah.
Have we found a lane that Dawnbreaker doesn't win?
I think we did.
Is it possible? Nyx Assassin and Razor, that's a pretty strong duo to face versus a Dawnbreaker, that's for sure. Because typically Dawn versus Razor, at least you have the option of getting away from the link, but the Carapace really does stop that. And at a certain point, like, if your allies aren't there to help you, the Razor is able to just kind of run you over.
Yeah, and I mean, that's something that they've run a couple of different times now. The Earthshaker Razor combo, just bang, bang, bang. I think they did it against Soniqs too.
Yeah, so we don't even know if they're going to be on like the same team or same lane or opposite lanes. They go double melee supports, it works out. Like, very crafty.
It's just a nice idea, which is, I think, a common theme that we've seen from OG teams. They've got good ideas of how to play that Dota.
Do you think Yuragi wants like good lanes though? Do you think like maybe he's like, oh Seb, could I maybe hit creep sometime and not
somebody's
be at 14
got to take one for the team, right?
He really did, and
they
like,
let him buy a Midas.
That's right. That's carry players like that. That'll keep him happy. It's like catnip.
Exactly, catnip. Bad lane, good Midas, and good panel. Let's head on back to them and hear what they have to say about it.
Hopefully we have some good things to say about this matchup for both sides. OG looking great there. They just kind of snowballed. Guys, Talon did not have a chance. It did not go the way that you potentially expected it to.
Okay. Yeah. We had some problems.
Some problems? Would you like to outline those ones?
It wasn't true.
It wasn't true.
Okay, it wasn't. Yeah, sure. Zephyr was on fire. He almost carried the game on his own. But
they were killing Jug like in the lane. Like,
it didn't work.
Okay, to be fair, KP had a really rough game. I'll say it. It felt like they were focusing the top side a lot, and KP on Visage really, really struggled.
Yeah, because when we talked in the pregame panel, we mentioned that they needed to take this top tower and open up the map. Like, they open up the map and they defend their towers of tree. Like, that game plan is what they needed to win. But the problem is they didn't commit heroes to this top safe lane tower that they needed to. OG, you look at them, they were literally responding with 5 heroes top. They were fighting with 5. Every single hero came top to defend that tower because they know that if Talon don't get it, they can't play their game. They just brought more heroes every single engagement. If the fact Talon didn't bring 5 of their own at any one point and didn't get the tower till 14 minutes severely harmed their game.
I'm outnumbered here. I was enchanted by your talk about this Treant Protector doing wonders.
I apologize.
I remembered even Zephyr doing well with his Treant ages ago, but like they have a Batrider mid lane, they have a Dawnbreaker safe lane. Those are their 2 most important cores. Arguably, this is sometimes is more important when he's off lane, but those 2 are countered by an Nyx Assassin, both of them. Like, Taiga has been on point this whole game. It's not like his game was hard at all. All he had to do is 23 Savage pops his ulti, he pops Carapace. Batrider tries to go win and catch someone without a BKB. What does he do? He pops Carapace. And that's it. He just runs in front, pops Carapace, prevents any aggression. But it wasn't easy at all for Talon to actually take advantage of this Visage with the birds. The build that Visage went for as well, like 4 levels in Grave Chill and 1 level in armor, makes him a bit easier to take down as well. So that wasn't helpful in the laning stage itself, but I completely agree with Sheepo. If you're playing Visage, like, you have to rotate to him a little bit earlier. I think that was the plan. That was the plan for them, but OG understood it and they rotated a little bit faster in OG fashion, actually.
Yeah, it felt like OG just kind of had the number on Talon here. They knew the game plan that Talon had to execute. OG did it. We can see by that scoreboard just how poor Talon was, how hard it really was for them to get going. But talking about that Nyx Assassin, let's talk about some other heroes on the side of OG that really stood out for you guys as amazing plays.
I mean, I just really liked. I can't think of a hero. It's more like I really like how they played the map.
Okay.
I like that they focused on top. I like that when they realized that 23 Savage was having a rough game, because it's like he wants to use his ult to go top and get that kill and push the tower, but because they didn't bring enough heroes, it meant that when he came in with the ult, they didn't have enough damage. His teammates died. Then he goes to like mid lane to try and farm a bit because he doesn't have ult. They come and kill him on OG. I love those moves. Then 23 Savage is super underfarmed. He's having a horrible game. And then OG realized that they can be on the aggressive, because that whole time you have Amar, the carry from the off lane. He's got a load of farm. They're just out farming them. They have more items. They start running at you because they can. They've hit their timing. All Shaker, like we talk about taking advantage of Shaker's weakness, he got over that bump of the early game. And now he's just using Fissures really well to wall off heroes, and the rest of his team are just doing the damage.
Yeah, the fighting coming out from OG was amazing. Talon, another thing that you pointed out, Lizard, was you didn't like the dual support of Bane and Tree.
Yeah, I didn't. You're completely right. Sorry for cutting you off there, but at the same time, like I felt the same towards OG.
Oh.
Like their support duo for me doesn't strike me like something that I would like to have in my game. Nyx Assassin is great here. It's very good versus both the 23 Savage, Dawnbreaker, and the Batrider. But I don't like the combination of the Nyx and Shaker. They kind of step on each other's toes. They don't really contribute way too much in the laning stage, both of them. But it didn't matter because their cores kind of took a lot of weight on themselves. Their cores were not countered in the lane. Let's say this Razor does not have a good lane. It's a completely different story, right? Yeah. Like if he's countered instead of him being the dominating force. I believe all three of them, BZM, Amar, and Yuragi, they just enjoyed this game quite a bit. Won their lanes. Okay, Jug perhaps not as much, but did decently in lanes.
Yeah, very enjoyable game for OG. With this loss on Talon, though, it doesn't necessarily mean they are 100% eliminated yet. We have to check in with some of the other streams, see how the other games are going. So we'll jump to a break. When we come back, we'll have a little bit of an update for you, and also game number 2.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Let's see if you're a real Giga Chat after all.
This town isn't big enough for us.
You're about to get E-out.
Oh, I'll kill you, kid.
Power can be found in any number of places. Scientists will tell you that it comes in newtons. Gamers will say that it can be found in silky skills. We will say that the power lies in real thrills. In the play with perfect ping. In the runes and crystals. In every frag and gank. In your personal winnings. Lock and load for PGL Arlington.
Welcome back, everyone. We are playing the very last series of the Group A group stages here. It is OG up against Talon. OG took game one, and now if you do want to watch the other games and you would like to be spoiler-free, then I will say right now, maybe mute the stream, because I am going to give a little bit of a brief update for myself and the panel here. But we had LGD take the game off Tundra Awaken, and we also saw RNG take a game off of Liquid, which means Talon still has a chance to go to tiebreakers and potentially still not be eliminated. But same goes for Tundra Awaken. So Tundra Awaken Talon, they still do have chances to not be eliminated. Unfortunately, Soniqs fell to Outsiders, which means they are definitely eliminated now from the Arlington Major.
God dang it.
Yeah.
They were one of my teams I like.
Bit of a roughy,
I see Lizard's smug face in my dreams.
I'm so happy right now. Like, this is the best I've felt the whole tournament.
Oh,
no, I'm not. I'm not.
jeez.
Like, it's sad, right? Every time a team gets eliminated, it's not.
Yeah.
It's not enjoyable for.
Not at all. Not at all.
any of us
But
viewers.
yeah, it places a lot of emphasis though on Talon here getting a win. They need to get a win here. This is very much a do or die for their Arlington major dreams. So let's chat about what, we talked about the post game before, but what do you want to see different in this draft that will give them that advantage to take this game?
Like one of the things that I instantly wanted to see is Dawnbreaker out, and it is banned out by OG, so it won't be picked by Talon, which is already a better start, even though they haven't picked anything. I want to see 23 Savage on a true position 1 carry that he's known for. This guy was owning SCA pubs for a reason. This guy got picked up by T1 for a reason. He was very good on his big, hard carries, the Medusas and whatnot. Dawnbreaker, that ain't it. Like, he needs to join every single fight early on. He has no time to farm.
I mean, he is a person that likes to play different styles of carry, and I really appreciate that about him. He's shown a really great versatility over the Tour 3. I just think that maybe I feel like there's 2 ways we could go about it. So I talked with the Talon team a little bit last night. Talked with Sophie, she's part of the team, and she said that they're actually very confident. They feel very good. They don't underestimate anyone they play against, and like they are confident. They don't give up. That's this is good things you like to hear. Now, before we get to Brew, I was thinking this could go in 2 ways, whether they go kind of crazy and just put a little bit something out there like the Dawn carry, or they go back to their hard comfort. You like the 23 Savage Medusa. Maybe they just fall back on something a little bit more simple to execute.
Yeah.
The Brew did get through though.
Oh, I was going to say, so they tried something a little bit different with the carry last game. Now, hopefully going to be comfort. We see the Brew come out. This is definitely comfort. For those who don't know KP Brew, most people are banning Brew first phase against this team for the group stages.
And on the other side, you have another offlaner who's got his hero still left in the pool. That's the Razor, right? Like Marcy Razor, for me, it strikes me like a really good opener as well for OG. They could go once again for it. Maybe they want to try something different versus the Brew. Something like a Doom even perhaps on that offlane or position 4. Like, it's doable, but I really wouldn't mind seeing Razor once again.
Yeah, like Razor was Mossy because you give him so much. Okay, it's not Razor, but Lone Druid's so good because you just the sidekick gives the bear even more lifesteal than it already gets, and you give so much move speed to the bear too. Like sometimes the bear suffers a little bit to getting kited, and Mossy really helps alleviate those issues for it. It's really good. It's also more lockdown, which Razor doesn't give because obviously Brew, you want to burst him before he gets his split off. Marcy can throw him back. Maybe you get like the Roar, the Fear. It's really nice. It's also, is it a Talon or a Shard? The Lone Druid gets the Roar Dispel. It's really nice versus Brew as well. It's something. It's whatever. It gives it a Dispel. It exists in his head.
Why do we have 2 Meepo spammers and neither of us plays Lone Druid?
I used to spam him really hard, and then people stopped playing him off lane, so I stopped playing him.
But overall, I do like the Lone Druid pickup. Definitely for them. Feels good. Are we gonna see some Pudge? I don't think so, right? It's not OG style.
Man. That would be great. Talon play it. 23 Savage.
With the Lone Druid, it's another combo that we've seen, right? We've seen the Marcy combo, we've seen the Pudge combo, we also have seen the Io combo, which isn't that bad. Like, you can tether up that bear, go ham. With the Mask of Madness, with the Dazzle there's a ton of damage being dished out, but banned out.
I think like there's synergy in Seb's pool if he went the Alk 5 and wanted to... Yeah, because you buy the Shard and it gives you the little potion thing that... Yeah, whatever it does. I think it's...
potion.
Yeah. Just throw it, get the bear drunk or something. It's like a good way to make this Lone Druid even stronger. I personally, and this is something other teams do, they paired the Lone Druid with the Wyvern just because the Cold Embrace does percentage heal, and that's so good with a bear that's just like 2 to 3k HP, super big tank.
Even for the main guy, right? Like if he's in true form, like he heals up quite fast, it gives you enough time for the actual bear to do his business, kill everyone around.
Do you think there's a little bit of a worry of putting too much emphasis on the Lone Druid in draft, or this is a hero that you can put everything into and know that it is going to succeed?
He's meant to be your win condition. That's how I view Lone Druid. There's been games I've seen Liquid where Mickey has popped off on like a Monkey King alongside the Lone Druid and tried to carry the game, but ideally you really need this hero to do well. He's what's going to siege the towers. He's usually what just takes objectives like Roche 2. It's good to make him work. I I want them to make sure that they are dealing with Brew mostly, but not going too hard. So, like talking about Seb's pool, Shaker also pretty good because with the Fisher and the Shard and everything, you can lock him down even more from far away.
Okay.
Yeah, we're not really surprised now that the Razor has been banned out by Talon, right? Like that's the first thing we mentioned after Marcy has been picked up and Razor went through that first phase. It would still be good for OG. What I would like to see for OG, however, is like Shippo said, Laundry doesn't necessarily have to be the win condition, but I would rather see him being that, and then you combo it with any sort of a playmaker from the mid lane, so that you don't step on each other's toes like Monkey King in that game and Lone Druid were doing to each other.
I see.
So you have a true win condition, you have some playmaker like a Void Spirit or whatever on that mid lane that can catch the, perhaps the Hoodwink or the Panda before they can do their stuff.
When it comes to skill matchups, are you wanting Talon to put a little bit more emphasis in the laning phase? Do you think that that's where some of their strength could be? Or going more for that team fight and trying to capitalize on the mid to late?
I felt Talon's problem last game was just in the captainship direction, which doesn't surprise me too much because KP talked about in the past that when they had Fly on that iteration, he was like their vocal captain, and now they don't have it, so they have to be more vocal as a team. And from what the team has said, Q, although he's not here, is very quiet, and Mikoto is also very, very quiet. So it's really on 23 and KP to say a lot in these games, and you have Zephyr who's a stand-in, so he might feel a little bit uncomfortable on making calls. So when team gets a little lost in their moves, it's not surprising to me, but it is something they need to make sure they have on point, especially against OG, who will run you over if you start making mistakes.
Yeah, the whole region either has captains that just ignite the team, they sing all the time, or they have very silent guys on the other side. But that's the bane of SCA as well. Like the probably, arguably, objectively, the most talented region out there when it comes to the new talent, when it comes to the fresh faces coming out. But new talent does not bring experience, does not bring leadership, and that's something that they have lacked for quite a long time now. It's one of the reasons why Boom always does well. I shouldn't say Boom, I should say any team that has Scam in it. He is just a beastly shot caller.
10 seconds remaining.
Well, a little bit further on in the draft here, Talon, they get Chen. It's not panned out this time. They pick it up for themselves. And OG going with that Coddle.
Yeah, the Coddle worked really nicely for them last game. I also think it makes Mikoto's life hard. He wants to playmake a lot usually, and when Coddle's just blasting your waves out, it kind of stunts what you do. I think OG as well, one of their biggest strengths as a team is BZM's responses to ganks. So when he does like veer off to these side lanes to try and make plays on Mikoto, BZM's usually just there, ready and waiting. And Coddle's a great hero for that. And he's going to be able to deal really nicely with this Chen 2 and like any push they want to make.
Where's the briefcase going, Shippo?
I have no idea. 5?
Is it offlane?
It's
is it
probably
5?
5, right?
Like when
5.
if Seb was playing offlane, like this would be an ET offlane right there with some echo agonyms.
Ugh.
But so, I mean, back in the day it was really good. Right now, perhaps not as much.
LGD's been playing it, I think. I don't know who picked it first this tournament.
I think it was LGD.
Yeah, everyone's just stealing. Just constant stealing.
On 5 probably is the best position.
Yes.
The other Titan, yeah.
The hero kind of got bonked after TI. He was like the standout hero of that one.
So, with all the heroes that they have drafted on the side of OG, they are lacking something like a Void Spirit that we talked about, and Talon snatched that for themselves. They also needed this playmaking capability from that mid lane. 30%. Why did you pick it?
It just keeps going down. This is like the second or third time I've seen this statistic, and it's just going for. Fear literally made a tweet like 20 minutes ago saying, "Everyone stop picking Void into Puck." I know there's no Puck. He's like, "Stop it! I'm tired of watching this hero get coiled and die for 12 hours every day." And that's probably why his win rate is so low, because these Pucks have just been dumping on him.
Yeah, that's pretty right as well. Like when you think about Eastern Europe and other regions that pick Void Spirit into Puck, there's a reasoning behind it, because it's rarely only the Void Spirit, right? It's Void Spirit plus something, plus Skyrat. And teams here have just been drafting Void Spirit into the Puck. You get coiled, you die. Yeah, you can set up after his Yules, but Puck isn't even buying Yules anymore, so...
Yeah, that's true. You just go Witchblade and kill people, and then you can go Yules after. But I think for OG right now, I feel like I want them to have AoE control. Yeah, there is some in Elder Titan's setup with the Stomp, but right now, who is keeping things locked in place for your Elder Titan ult, sorry. Your Koddle wants to do loads of damage too. They have a lot of slows, they have entangles, they don't have like super hard lockdown outside of Marcy when she gets like a blink.
Maybe some Mars?
Like, yeah, Mars would be great for me, but they're looking for an off lane. It's not quite like
it's not
a
great.
Mars
It's not,
favorite.
it's, yeah, and it's not instant disable, right? Like
Yeah.
they don't have any instant disable on their team. You can't really expect your Elder Titan to be setting things up.
Yeah.
Marcy, Aetherland's Blink Dagger, sure. Can
I'd
come
be
in
okay
handy.
with like a Panga.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's just something like that. I think that can just have a lot of control for OG because they have loads of damage. Like Lone Druid and Koddle will just go to town if anything can just like control them.
Are they getting Weaver? Why did they ban out Bloodseeker last?
Maybe they think it's a Koddle 5, Koddle 4, Elder Titan.
I don't know. When I talked to Talon last night, they said they had like they had one last trick up their sleeve, but so far I'm not seeing the trick.
I mean, they still have overall last pick, so that could be the secret card up the sleeve.
I mean, maybe the 23 Savage Slark is coming back. That was a Tor 3 fun.
That was insane. That was insane.
That was actually something that was picked up in the Chinese region as well, with a really interesting build. I don't know if it was the same in SCA. The Radiance first.
They did not do
No,
that.
they
no,
definitely
not at
didn't.
all.
We dabbled
Would've
in
been
some muddy waters right there with the little fishy.
Did it work out?
It actually worked.
Oh.
It worked quite a few times.
Interesting.
I don't know why. It shouldn't, but
In that game, it did.
yeah.
Anything else sticking out for OG, or we really are a little bit curious on their direction?
I just want control of some kind. They have a lot of damage. They have a lot of like kind of delay. I don't know, like ways to disengage a bit.
But they need that
But they don't have
first
that.
one in, right?
Yeah, proper control, proper initiation. Nice Stalker. That works fine for me. You get a Blink Dagger. You just jump the brew. You can kill him. They can be very active with the Night Stalker, which I like.
And we know OG love to be active running around the map.
It's not perfect because if Talon do get to a space where they buy BKBs, then it could be a bit difficult. But the problem is like Void Spirit doesn't really want to buy a BKB, nor does Brew.
Yeah, yeah. Some 4 staffs probably necessary on the Chen, maybe on the Hoodwink to help with the Night Stalker jumping the backlines. But overall, yeah, I can see why they picked it. It definitely fits their style.
Yeah.
And they needed this backline jumper. They didn't have it at all before.
Oh, this is it. This is the
Savage
one.
PL.
This hero get absolutely annihilated by Core Koddle. I have seen that matchup a few times and it has been nasty to say the least.
Okay, so you aren't really liking what Talon have last picked here, and you think it could crumble with the pace and aggression of OG.
I think I saw a PL GG out at 12 minutes on RNG's side.
Yeah,
after
12
got
minutes and
crushed.
34 seconds.
Yeah, so let's hope that he lasts longer than that.
Well, they did pick PL with that tree game that we were talking about, the one that they were pushing high ground on Talon at 19 minutes. So is potential for it to go in their favor, but where are you thinking the favor stands?
Last time you tricked me, I went with the 3N.
Go with your heart.
go
You
with the
start
heart.
first.
My
and
heart
go
is
with your
saying
heart.
OG this time around.
Okay.
Even though they have night and day on their side, I think it can work.
All right.
I think if Talon get 4 stars, they can get KP into a position where he can use his ult. This game could be okay because the Bears just going to get lifted. They have a lot of... And then like where is a lot of their damage? Like BZM has to kind of do a lot of lifting.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of different directions that these teams can take it, but the only direction we're going is to our casters, Lyrical and Trent.
Thank you, Nat. And Trent, there's a lot going on in this game. There's a lot going on in the draft. But outside of that, also, there's this big ecosystem of, like, I'm in the corner trying to do Rain Man, figuring out what the tiebreaker scenario is. You know, at the end of the day, what it comes down to?
Winning.
Just win, baby.
Just win.
Just win, baby.
Just like your pubs.
That's
Same
right.
thing. Yeah.
Well,
I heard a lot of
little more
confidence, too. Yeah, well, at the end of that panel, was this game could be okay if KP ults. That doesn't sound like it's a good start there for old Talon. I feel similarly. Not gonna lie, it looks difficult. Obviously, it's OG. They're looking hot, and their draft once again here. It looks like something they've done before. We get ourselves a fresh face of the ET, but that Phantom Lancer, you know, sometimes you see a hero and you just go, again?
Yeah.
You know, can he do it? I mean, they've had some success, and it's a hero that can carry a game and can get away with so much with those perfect moments, but it's also a hero very known for getting run over.
It is, and you know, a hero that OG know well. The Seb very, very experienced in the potential for this hero to come back into a game. But I think that they also have a lineup that is very well suited to just take objectives quickly, shut down the map, and BZM on this Coddle already proved to just be a menace. But will it happen again? Can they keep up that same type of momentum? Void Spirit, a different matchup, definitely, in the mid lane. You've got, you know, this Coddle that's got a really great win rate, 58%, around that 30 mark, I think was what we saw for the Void Spirit.
Yep.
But they do very different things, right? Like, Makoto is going to need to make a bunch of moves and find some kills.
And I mean, he's got one of the best heroes in the game to help out with that in the Hoodwink. That is for sure.
Yeah.
You know, certainly a hero that can help you assist in snowballing in the earlier parts of this game. 23 Savage does come down to battle with Seb, sees Taiga and says, well, I'm not winning this fight.
Yeah,
I'm just going to get tossed back and miss my rune.
So with that, OG, they find 3 bounty runes again. Not a bad start. There was some chances, depending upon some of the results of the other games, that this one might not end up mattering. But Talon, if they can win this, they might be able to force some tiebreaker scenarios with a couple of the other teams in their group. And for OG, they want to get a chance and sort of secure that spot of the upper bracket finish for themselves. It just provides so much extra value for your longevity within a tournament, starting in that upper bracket, and still very much in the picture for them.
Well, if I had to guess this one too, I think they're probably feeling pretty comfortable with their draft. I feel like they got a lot of very strong heroes right now. And, you know, Yuragi looks like he's going to have a better time, is already disposing Zephyr into the bear. Some quality damage up top there. And shouldn't be as sabotaged by his teammates as last game.
Yeah, that was a rough one.
Sacrifice, sorry, not sabotage. I mean, kind of. A little
yeah,
sabotaged.
a little bit.
I mean, I feel like some of you would have griefed and reported that shaker. Like, my shaker has soul ring.
Yeah. What's going on? Where's my
tango? We have the same amount of last hits. Yeah.
Give me my regen. Has some trading going on down there. Zephyr and Taiga sparring with the hits. And Marcy just keeps chasing. Oh no, she's coming for you. Disposes there. But we'll do a little ring around the rosy and manage to escape. We did see Hyde down bottom on that. Oh, nice little stun there. Hyde on the Chen already took over one of the range creeps on the bottom side of the map, and is going to be using that likely for some extra harassment, and then also trying to get some denies with it.
Yeah, and Chen has looked like one of the absolute strongest heroes in this entire tournament. It feels difficult to gauge the hero at times because of how it's sort of it's a lot of map presence and map movement as Zephyr.
Good hoodwink. Bushwhack, but is it enough? No.
No, only gets the bear.
So first blood drawn by Taiga. Playing that Marcy and doing it well.
That's going to get that boots gold too. It feels amazing. Gets back in time to deward the camp, but I'll have to wait till 3 minutes to see if we're actually going to spawn there. So mid lane has been going great for BZM. Makoto will grab the ball water room, but not getting pressured too much. Because like sometimes we've seen Makoto, he's like pressuring forward when he can, whenever the illuminates down, trying to get some right clicks in. But overall, Coddle's just doing Coddle things. Only got caught once by the Remnant, I think, so far. So not going to give up any free kills here unnecessarily, as you shouldn't in this matchup.
Right. Also, none of the camps blocked, so those small camps still available, as Amar and Seb have a big creep wave coming into him here.
It has not been a priority.
No.
I feel like throughout a lot of this group stage, whereas during the DPC, I feel like we saw it so often.
It's getting old, you know?
Yeah.
People coming up with new tricks. So, like, we want that gold for more tangos.
That's right.
Yeah, but this big wave pushing into Amar on the Night Stalker has been able to still get pretty decent last hits. A couple of denies along the way there against the PL as KP takes a couple more punches from the bear, as Taiga will retreat back, and they continue to spar over this lane. KP, a Brewmaster hero that's kind of looked hot and cold at various points in the lane is often where it can be a big issue. As the root is there, Bushwhack, not enough.
He was so close to level 3 where the Bushwhack doubles in damage up to 150 as well. Now gets it after a creep goes down. So there was definitely a potential that Taiga dies there. But just not quite on the XP. Just a great timing there from OG overall to go, because now you got Yuragi at level 4.
In the meantime, down bottom, Seb is just zoning out both the other heroes. OG looking good across all 3 of the lanes. And And if they do lose this one, Talon is definitely going to be eliminated. And Hyde,
Seb. Oh my god.
just taking a lot of chunking damage from the briefcase, man.
Yeah, why don't we see this hero again? I mean, yes, I know, he always gets nerfed, and he always comes back around TI time.
Yeah.
It's an endless cycle. You know, it's he's got the big juicy right clicks right now. Of course, regen being a bit more difficult in the laning stage these days. It's something that you got to imagine he's kind of happy with. As long as he's not being traded with and losing too much himself, he doesn't have to spend as much. Getting up to your tranquils, which he now has, getting those sent out. You're just a formidable foe here.
Oh my god. Yeah. He just denied 3 in his face.
Oh, clearly his favorite voice line, by the way. He's been spamming this one a lot.
That's good. Shout out to Tempest. Makoto.
Yeah, he's doing a little juking and dodging there as there was a rebound and a dispose that would seem in the mid lane.
Doesn't mean Yuragi's alone. And the main druid himself gets brought down about 100, 200 HP. Doesn't have much regen, but we'll pass over those phase boots now. So needs to be slightly careful. I think Marcy's making the move over as well. But no, they won't be going for any extra pressure.
I feel like Yuragi's going to hit 5 before KP hits 4. No, Zephyr's going to leave the lane. They've been splitting the XP like pretty evenly.
BZM. All right, Makoto hits 6 first.
It's that simple, huh?
Yeah.
I mean, part of that too is just the rotation mid as well from Taiga, right?
Yeah.
Like being there while some of that wave is going out too, and missing out on their attempt to kill with the rebound of the dispose.
Good bushwhack. No Quelling Blade there. Tries to go for the deny, but won't happen. Taiga 2-0-1 for the start.
It really is huge, though. I mean, this happened last game, too, right? BZM went down as well.
Yeah.
From Makoto. He got that kill at level 5, propelled him to level 6, and then they kept pressuring BZM. In that case, though, they also had Yuragi having a bit of a rough lane, whereas this time now they could actually put more of their attention to this mid lane if they wanted to from OG. Similarly, there's not this easy save rotation like the Earthshaker, where you just TP in and go for the Fisher. Seb can't really do that. It's a lot slower and more telegraphed with the Elder Titan. And it's a little tougher with the Marcy as well, I think.
It makes it a little bit more dangerous. Hyde. I mean, this is a good way to deal with Chen, it looks like.
Makoto's coming.
Put him to sleep. Can they kill him off? They do. Seb backs away. Makoto chooses a target. It's the Night Stalker. Can they get him, though? Second round. Couple more punches, but Amar just walking out, and they do find him. Went through Savage, the one that it's the last touch there.
Yeah, a bit scary going for the Night Stalker instead of just going on to Seb, but secure it in the end. Makoto heads back to that mid lane, but instantly 23 Savage being punished here by Taiga and Seb.
Oh, that one hurts a lot more as they just moved in and killed him. That is, well, PL dead.
Yeah. So, Elder Titan, heroes that he loves to play versus tend to be a lot of these illusion heroes because they're big, stat-heavy, agi heroes, and PL obviously no exception. So at level 1, it's a 40% base armor reduction, but as we get later and later in this game, you're going to be seeing that 100% base resist reduction on the armor. And so if you haven't watched a lot of ET, because maybe you just started watching DOTA this year and you don't see him too often, that just means you're going to lose all your base armor. If it's all based off your agi, you'll be at 0 armor. And that makes right clicks hurt.
Yeah.
Because then they just become pure damage.
It's kind of wild, and yeah, 23 Savage not likely to be picking up all that much along the way. Does already have a Vanguard though, which is a little bit interesting there. You can see this is one of the things I wanted to bring up. The camp stacked though. This is why Caudle is still sitting top of the net worth despite the death earlier and Void Spirit getting involved across the map as Amar just going to give him the business.
He has a Vanguard.
Yeah.
And it's still hurting. Like, we often used to see the Hood PL a lot, but this is just an adaptation because of the lane he's in, the Night Stalker, all the right clicks he's going to be facing the whole game. He's going to get a ton of value out of this Vanguard for sure, especially when he's trying to help with some block damage when he's losing all his armor because of the ET, but it is still difficult. Now up top, they're moving in. The rebounded bear. Look at that thing go.
Bushwhack. KP
the
runs
counter,
in.
The tornado.
Can they kill him? I do have a good chunk of damage there. Taiga trying to stop it with the dispose, but it won't happen. Makoto turns now. Looking at Seb. Zephyr over to the side. The rebound not going to connect. KP comes out of it. Bushwhack finds the Marcy. Meanwhile, to dissimulate, Makoto gets away. BZM rotates in, tries to punch as they do take over the Centaur. Seb coming. Slowly walking out of there. But 2 heroes killed off on the side of OG. And Talon Finding a couple of nice movements there.
And these raindrops from Seb, they give him the confidence to move back in here. You know, he gets bushwhacked. The heal as well. Misses the bushwhack.
And Seb, they move in. They come back to life as Taiga right on top of Zephyr now. Trying to hide away. Do they have a way to break it? The stomp is there.
Oh, he's too fast.
And the rundown. KP also falls. So it was looking good for a second. Salve, Zephyr trying to hide, dodges, but eventually it's BZM with the triple. Such a weird fight.
Yeah. And Seb, just no hesitation at all, instantly into that stomp. He's too fast for you to try and TP out in front of him. I mean, try to do it with like the vision block by hopping into the trees and everything, but Seb was on top of that. And overall, a fight that eventually gets cleaned up from OG. When you think about it, at the very beginning, Yuragi went right down, right?
True.
We saw the counterplay, right? So this Brewmaster versus the Lone Druid, you're going to be taking that Storm Panda for the Tornado toss-up. And
He body blocked himself. Oh, 23 Savage. He was probably dead anyways, but BZM and Taiga set up for the perfect kill. Oh, he was blocked by his own illusions. That hurts.
Feels like Makoto is just trying to put the team on his back, but they're slipping off. They can't quite hold on. It's like teaching my kids how to piggyback. They don't get it. Seriously, they can't understand the concept.
Oh, well, they might understand the concept, but execution has been rough, and KP, he's going to get brought down in the top lane as well. LG, all of these heroes are just so mobile. They get where they need to go so quickly.
Rebound is a hell of a spell. That's what I'll say. Look, see, they know. The tips over to Ty. All right, nice little circle of tips. That's great.
Very well done.
Teamwork showing off here once again from OG. They understand. Meanwhile, another game of Amar just hanging on the bottom lane, asking everyone how the game's going. He just keeps hearing ching, cha-ching, cha-ching, 10-4. Oh, great, guys.
Yeah.
Like, I kicked the carry out. I did my job.
Tower down.
I'll just farm.
Don't mind me.
I love how he's the carry of this team.
I mean, it's true. It's his world. We just live in it. And it's just worked out so well for them, too, because they play around that Night Stalker when it comes time to move out across the vision. But, I mean, 5,000 gold lead off the back of some just solid movement. Seb gets hit. The ulti KP wants to finish him, but they won't be able to.
That was clever. Going for the TV right away, not giving time for any sort of a split into a kill, and then let them siege this tower. They don't necessarily want to split right now, but I think for the kill it would have been worth.
No doppelganger.
He's just a bully.
God. Those right clicks do nothing with the Vanguard, but
I know. And he only has level 1 doppelganger too, so it's the 19-second CD, so like he can't even use it to dodge illuminates right now. It's like too risky in case someone else shows up.
Super scary.
So they get some Chen value. They push this top tower, but Makoto trying to hold the mid lane. Not his best role right now. 3 seconds till sharpshooter. Maybe they can get a pick on one of these supporting cast members of OG and get a chase down after, but the tower's already gone.
Yeah, they don't feel comfortable going for it.
This ward 2 from OG right in behind, watching all of this.
They smoke top. They decide that's where they want to go next. Chen and Brew are up in the north. And Mar down bottom.
Gonna try and bait something here.
Can they do it? He does have ulti. And KP, I mean, I remember a game of his just the other day where the Brew looked really rough. Wasn't able to get things going for a long time. This game already halfway to an Aghanim Scepter as Unleash is tossed out. Push back high, down low. Taiga life-stealing off of the Chen. It's so strong. Zephyr, can they kill him off, though? Didn't have a pendants. Taiga getting pushed around, and, well, Makoto, he does find BZM. Push back, blinding light. Couldn't get the heal out in time, and they find Taiga, too. So 2 dead. Amar pops ulti, decides he wants to run in. Zephyr, hoping to escape. Yuragi's there with the bear. As KP is no longer in the ulti form. The sleep connects. As OG keep chasing down KP one by one.
He's just so weak outside the ulti. He's able to use it to bring down BZM, but the rest of the team of OG just rotating. And again, using that speed and that chase down potential to ensure that you're not getting away with these wins just because you popped ulti. Makoto still stuck in here.
They see him. Ow, but can't chase anymore, really.
I mean, he's got the Tumblr's toy.
That's true.
He can't be caught, right?
Sure.
Oh, he's a risky guy. He's like, go ahead. Ooh, the bear Quelling Blade. Let's go.
Yeah, he's ready. He was super ready for that one. God, these fights just feel like this sort of meandering, slow-rolling, eventual death from Talon. You know, like every second that goes by, it just gets a little bit worse and a little bit worse. But I mean, they kind of have to take these fights on Talon. You can't just lose the entire half side of the map.
Yeah, and maybe that could change with help like the Hand of God or something, but they haven't found a situation where they've seen a turnaround potential from it. Solarbind going to be running out here. The stop still connects. That's a pretty cool combo, actually. That's going to be a lot of amp, by the way, if someone gets caught by that.
I think that's like the 3rd or 4th Quelling Blade Bear play we've seen. He used it earlier on one of the ones that was like in the middle of the whole grove of trees. Waits for it to connect and then just has the bear ready to go.
Yeah.
6-13. Amar inhabiting the bottom side of the map. And Talon trying to get what they can, waiting for an item timing. I mean, a lot of the big ones, the Aghanims, they're still very far away. PL needs to get into even a Diffusal Blade for 23 Savage.
Yeah, I think that already they've failed a couple of objectives for Talon that could have given them hope in this draft. Like, yes, I think the OG lineup is stronger, but there were options that could have helped. Oh, look at this board, by the way. They're about to smoke on that ward down there. They sort of spotted all moving in here.
Yeah.
They're kind of going to know. But this general idea of, like, maybe we can get some kills early with the Hoodwink. Like, try and play off that early laning stage as well as mid-game for the Hoodwink. Like, and they've kind of missed out, right? Makoto's ever now they're jumping and going together, but it almost feels like too little too late. Well, and it's quite literally too late right now if they're trying to catch Amar because he is gone.
Yeah, that ward did scout it, and as soon as he ran over there, they just backed away. Heads towards the triangle, gonna help with the Ancients. See how many of these creeps he steals from BZM. Oh, he's trying to be a good buddy there. Oh, wait, just take them all. Just take them all now. He's giving them over to the Coddle. Surely.
Oh, he's got to get him that Orchid.
Yeah.
Right? They want a nice early tool here versus Makoto. Makoto rushing in towards this Aghanims, trying to give them some power in these team fights, trying to really hit a massive timing. The defensive options actually coming from Zephyr, who's rushing that Force Staff versus the Night Stalker to try and assist. Pretty good versus all the other heroes as well. You might be able to save someone from an ET Stomp, potentially some of the Coddle follow-up as well as the Bear, but right now, a Fear, Chain Stun, no chance. KP, I don't even think he wants to ult there because his allies can't get nearby because there's no tier 1 tower. But he is certainly dead.
Yeah, they're waiting for a good fight to sort of present itself, and it just has not happened. 23 Savage.
I mean, OG are just going to like wildly run into them.
Oh, they might. You never know.
They're pretty known for that, you know, maybe.
They do have this ward down, though, so they saw everybody behind that PL. Now a smoke.
It's calculated chaos from OG, you know? It's not just totally mindless. Oh, smoke on smoke, and again, that ward. This is the best ward you're ever going to see.
Diffusal Blade already done. Chases. The Orchid's ready from BZM.
What?
Do they find him? They get him right away. He slept. He's silenced. He's in trouble. Makoto gets the Dissimulate out, though. After the Orchid was there.
Taiga.
Yeah, they were ready.
That was nasty.
They were so ready.
Like, the rebound in, and then he like slipped under the Void Spirit, so he missed the Aether Remnant and got the dispose.
It's too good.
And the fight was over. It just broke at that moment.
I don't know. They are just playing really good Dota right now.
And again, it's part of it is because of the anticipation that they have. They have the knowledge, right? That ward.
True.
It's gonna have lived out its full life, a full, long, enjoyable life. It's got a pension, a retirement fund. Everything is waiting for this Observer ward from Taiga. That's just like a little bit down. Yeah, right there. That's the one we're talking about. It might not be blue, like Snake King's wards, but it gets the job done.
And you can see they dropped that sentry down. They were anticipating that they would have had some vision, but it's just outside of range. And it's easy when you can see everything. And that's partially what you get with the Night Stalker.
Dota is a lot easier with that, it's true.
You know, you're doing those Overwatch cases. You saw some people who might have seen everything over there as well.
I gotta say, there was some suspicious folks out there, ladies and gentlemen.
We got them, though.
Yeah.
Sniped.
Don't worry. Got it covered.
Proven Dota community, one at a time. Do your Overwatch cases. All right, 8,000 gold.
Okay, this
lead.
guy doesn't do his Overwatch cases, so you're up
Don't
here.
tell them.
Practice what you preach, all right?
Listen, don't tell them that. It ruins the whole thing. Into the pit they go. Diffusal going towards the Manta. He talked about the Aghanim Scepter for the Void Spirit, still a ways away. He's actually going back to the Eagles instead.
Hey, are they up here? I'm going to go scouting, guys.
Don't worry. Checking it out. Oh, Makoto.
That was dangerous.
The Orchid, he doesn't have an answer for that. No Yules yet.
Sleep on the high
the
ground.
Fear, in trouble and dead. Marcy, are they going to bring down Taiga? Hexed, chasing, trying to get away. Taiga Taiga somehow living through all of this. Why is this hero a thing? The rebound is ready, but eventually she will fall. KP is in deep though, and the sleep there onto 2. Doppelganger, he's on the wrong spot.
Nice hurricane.
A good chance, a hope, a dream, but Chen is dead. And KP out of ulti form. BZM chasing Orchid in 10. They don't need to go for it.
They're just like the disablers over here on OG. Like, you're just getting slept, but 4 heroes up on the high ground. By the time you finally get a fight, he jumped in from Makoto. On the initial jump from the Astral Step, he jumped into the Night Stalker Silence, and then he got Orchided. Meanwhile, 4 of his allies are asleep on the high ground, just having a snooze because of Seb, so they can't get off Hand of God saves. KB, it takes so long for him to get the split off before he eventually lifts up the bear, but at that point, the fight is just so tough. And as you can see here, Amar scouting, he just runs up. Oh, hey. So defensively silences, runs down. Makoto hops right into it, instantly orchided by BZM. He can't play the fight. Meanwhile, on the high ground, they're just slept. They can't help.
There's
team,
no fun.
Where's my team?
God. I mean, and this is, you look at this type of a fight and you just think to yourself, why is Elder Titan not always picked? Why don't we always see this hero? And they just make it look that good. Maybe it's going to start coming around again.
I keep thinking that with every hero that OG picks and every hero that LGD picks, and I'm starting to think maybe it's not the heroes.
You know, there's a chance.
It might be the players. Is that possible?
I think you're onto something here. We'll investigate further.
We'll keep doing some research in the bracket, because I have a feeling we're going to be seeing a lot of OG and a lot of LGD, and, well, DOTA plus that win probability thinks the same thing.
94%. And the game in a really solid position now. We talked about the way that this could go. They won't have the PL online in time, and Void Spirit forced to go back into these like defensive item build, almost done with the Yule Scepter. It kind of leaves a lot lacking for the damage, for the follow-up. Is that Hag's almost done for the brew? He does have that done on KP. So that's something. They need it.
Yeah, the multiple ultis and hoping to find a Phantom Lancer at some point who doesn't get just slept up at the start of the fight, you know?
Oh, Zephyr. He doesn't know about that ward. It's just dropped down there. You get the bushwhack. 23 Savage. TP's back home. Doppelganger. Jumps from Makoto. Fear. Chase. Look for the rebound. Can they get him? The sleep is there too. Dispose into the full combo. Comes from Seb. They try and bring down Marcy, but Taiga just backs away. KP right on top of him. And the rest of the team cleans up
the
entire combo. Rebound out. KP can't bring him down. Yuragi getting mana drained, in some trouble, but the fear is there. He does have an ulti for round 2, but he won't get it off. 3 are dead. There are no buybacks available. And just like that, OG, they're going to claim a tier 3 tower, maybe more. They jump forward, dispose the PL, kick them on in. And everybody dead for nothing.
All right. BZM doesn't play the Coddle that much, but even just these games, I have to say, the way that they play the fights with the Illuminate is some of the best call I've seen. Like, I feel like everyone's always ready with the heals. Like, I feel like they're more about the heal than they are actually about the damage from the Illuminate at this point, you know? It's just like sustaining, keeping everyone up, operational, and moving for more kills.
You gotta imagine they're feeling good right now. OG well on their way to an upper bracket performance. Depending upon the results of the other games that are going on, they may have just secured it. But 16,000 gold lead. And Talon, to stave off elimination, they gotta search, they gotta find something. But again, they catch Makoto. Yule Scepter, but the dispose, it just sets him up for a second round.
Oh, he died on the high ground.
Dies in the midst of his Astral Step. KP pops another ulti, wants to bring down Seb, but they're just not dealing with the heroes that really matter in this moment. Amar still so strong. A really good bushwhack. Marcy dead. Maybe an opportunity here. 23 Savage keeps chasing on to BZM. He dodges the Savage Roar.
I need a 2013 Phantom Lancer here. I need
tough.
this guy who does it all. We need the one who can win the game independently.
We need a hero. He's searching for a hero. Amar, he turns to fight the Vanguard, but they don't have the answer for the magic damage. Doppelganger runaway. KP silenced. Chase, heal there, and another round, but they cut the tree that was snagging Amar. He's not gonna fall. And as we talked about before, these fights, as they wear on longer and longer and longer, it starts to look worse, and BZM just runs away from 23 Savage. He won't be stopped. Those boots of travel keep him so fast. The heal, keeping him alive. Everybody after BZM. The lift up KP, but that means they can't hit him. Runs, dodges, but eventually they find their man. The Coddle dies, but Seb, can he clean up afterwards? 23 Savage tries to escape. He's broken. He's trying to get out of there. Everybody after 23 Savage, and the Dispose to end it.
On the bright side, he took them all the way across the river.
That's true.
So, you know, everyone's back up. Some respectful tips back and forth there.
BZM's dead. You know, it could have gone worse, but it needed to go a lot better.
Signs of what could be to come, perhaps.
Oh,
you know, maybe can he make an even more glorious fight next time?
There's a chance.
I have to say that it didn't look like they were struggling too much with it, if I'm being honest with you.
No.
Sometimes I think that OG are just like messing with everyone with their itemization, like this another solar crest.
Okay.
Yeah, they're just pretending. Seb's buying it again. He's like, no, guys, like seriously, solar crest, really good item. But again, it makes sense, right? That this Phantom Lancer, right? That's like their one hope, their one idea of getting into it. So if you can just put that shine on one of your allies, it's gonna help them out. That's right. I got the active right. I didn't even look first, but I did check, and it is called shine.
The shine.
The shine. The inhibit.
You're
you know,
such a shiner.
all the best actives. Thank you.
No problem. What's the active of Philosopher's Stone?
Doesn't have one.
Okay. Hiragi thought that was funny. All right. 16K.
Do we have any Philosopher's Stones? So we got the gold coming out here?
Lone Druid's got one.
Oh, yeah. We've got one on Hoodwink, too. Oh, Lone Druid players, they love that. They always grab it.
Oh, definitely.
We're going to have the Boomerang, the Hunter's Boomerang, coming out here from our Hoodwink eventually. Well, okay, it's probably not going to come out this game, but...
There's a chance. Dare to dream.
Well, for OG, they are dreaming of a nice, safe path to victory. So, currently farming a few more items. Yeah, the Mjolnir on the bear is a ridiculous amount of magic damage, by the way, especially versus this poor Phantom Lancer and all those illusions. So, they're going to smoke in here. They're feeling their strength, leading with the bear. And then Taiga, of course, we've seen this combo quite a bit, I would say, the Marcy and the Lone Druid, right? And it feels so good for Marcy because ever since losing the ability to rebound off of enemy units, you can just use the bear.
True.
Right? You just send the bear with the Marcy, hops off, gets a little grab.
And he just eats up all the Chen creeps, too. Killing off the Observer wards. OG dominating the map. There is some movement up north. BZM spots some of the Acorn shots, and Zephyr does get a quick little run away, scurrying out of there.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's still a very difficult lineup, I think, to catch all these waves, right? Like, you see the TPs right away. He better get out of here on KP.
Yeah. Blinding Light. Mar, does he pop ulti? They're thinking about it, but double TP's out.
Yeah.
But now OG do have a wave, so they can make another move if they want, but likely we're going to be waiting for this next Roche. 40 seconds until it's capable of respawning.
Yeah, I'm just going to play it safe here. And there's now that Basher finished up for the Lone Druid, so things weren't tough enough already. There you go.
And 23 Savage just hasn't been able to get the farm that he needs. With Diffusal and Vanguard, he's still struggling to get into that Manta.
And he needs it. There's no doubt about that. I mean, he's been caught by the Orchid a couple times too, right? So
true. God, look at the damage on the bear. Just goes in with the sidekick.
They also still only have the single Force Staff on Zephyr, so Amar is still extremely powerful in this game.
Boots of Bearing is there. And even before Roche respawns, it's a relatively short one. OG testing high ground, not too concerned about the potential for a throw. Stomp. Hiragi beats away at that tower. KP
That's
not
what
comfortable.
Bear does best.
Makoto, they just catch him instantly. They were so ready for that. He lands in the silence, the sleep. Force Staff trying to keep him alive, but he still slept. The Illuminate Blast connects, and OG, they got what they came for. They get the Rex.
KP?
That's the last one left alive. Have to be careful about that one. And the fear, it connects onto both of them.
Good pushback.
As he managed to escape, brought down to low HP and already dead. 23 Savage is gone. KP also dead. Will buy back, but they're going to have to make do without the PL. As OG, they're coming to claim the last of the buildings. Was not managed to get his ulti off yet. The sleep, the silence, the chase, and KP, he's going to die. There's nothing left in the tank. Makoto also just running back to the fountain, but GG is called. OG with the clean 2-0 here in the last day of groups.
Yeah, Talon trying some stuff here with the Phantom Lancer and attempting to get things going in this game, but right off the bat, just OG coming on top in the lanes, unable to make any sort of room for 23 Savage to really farm up this game. And so if the Phantom Lancer doesn't get these items, he doesn't really become a hero.
It makes it really tough. And this was something they always knew. It was you know, a roll of the dice, if you will, trying to figure out if it could work. But that does also mean that we have a whole round of eliminations that are going to be coming out now. Talon, I believe that does mean that they're eliminated. A couple other questions about Thunder Awaken. If Liquid's going to be able to make it through as well. Is some chances for tiebreakers. But OG definitely put on a good display here and able to 2-0 it at the end.
Yeah, they're proving a lot with their heroes too, I think, across both of these games, just what you have to worry about moving forward in this tournament versus them, because we already know they have super strong options for Amar, strong options for Seb that you're concerned about, and now I feel like Taiga's building that repertoire as well with this Marcy too, and I don't even know who I'm targeting, right? But usually it's Amar in the draft. I don't know where we're going at this point, so good luck if you're playing versus OG. They're looking to be in top tier form.
Yep, and we're heading on back to the panel as we get ready for a series of updates and information about those eliminations. Let's head it to where we're doing.
There are a lot of updates to come at you guys, but first, what an absolutely insane display from OG. Very clinical, very clean, but Slacks. You know, we have someone new joining us on the panel, and Slacks, I want to know, what do you think of that game?
Well, I had a prediction that I'd made back in the back. Today's Undertaking Day, a lot of teams going in. I didn't know that, anybody but Talon will go. I only had time to make Thun. But how many teams just got undertook? How many teams are going home that team?
So, over on Stream D was that RNG Liquid game. Earlier, I was fed information that Liquid had lost. That's not true. Liquid took game number 1. It was a fantastic game. I definitely recommend you guys going to check that one out. And because Liquid took game number 1, it means there's no tiebreakers for elimination. It does result in Soniqs, Talon, and Thunder Awaken getting eliminated from Group A. So much pain. Yeah, alongside NAVI and Tundra. We could talk about it a little bit later. But yeah, the downfall of Talon here, OG looking fantastic, also means that they will be in upper bracket. I say that slowly, hoping production will say that in my ear if I'm right or not. But let's talk about this game. Let's break it down a little bit, because it was just another case of Talon not being able to come online.
Oh, God, they tried. They were much better than last game, maybe. It feels like Mikoto got that solo kill onto the Coddle mid. He rotated top. He tried to make his moves there. He tried. It came to a head when the Coddle got his Orchid, and just suddenly Mikoto, anytime he jumped in aggressively, he just died.
Yep.
Watching
that was like watching The Revenant. I felt like Leonardo DiCaprio with that bear coming in there tearing them boys up. Woo! If you don't get that reference, it's a good film.
Don't watch it, though. Don't watch it. Stay here and tune into the DOTA, because, Lizzie, you're going to kind of tell us a little bit more about the lineup of OG working so well together as we watch a couple of replays.
I enjoy his reference quite a bit, like the bear mold them. The Void Spirit just couldn't find a place in this game as well. The Night Stalker last week, we questioned it a little bit, but do you have anything for Night Stalker? Nothing? Never mind.
No.
Think about it.
All right.
You jump in the back lines, just silence